mine. I'm sorry that you seem to be confused. He belongs to me. The boy is mine.
What's poppin' T Squad? It's me, Keisha. I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 9, Episode 12 review. I got some behind the scenes tea for you all, so let's get right into it. Okay, so I have some exclusive tea that Kandi spilled in an interview where she talks about her feud with Phaedra and with Porsha. In the interview, she states, it's going to get worse. It gets so much worse, like so much worse. If you keep coming at me, you keep saying things about my family, you off in the streets telling people not to work with me, how much do you feel I'm allowing you to keep going before I start letting your ass have it? Burris has become more outspoken this season, calling her co-stars out more than ever before. I've always been honest with back in the past because at one point me and the other girls were friends. I tried not to go too hard on them, she said. Going into this season, I said, you know what? I'm just not taking anything. Anytime they come to me with some BS, I'm calling them out on it. And that's what has happened. I'm not angry. I'm just not holding back. In the fight yet to air, Kandi will confront Porsha over allegations she made insinuating Burris hooked up with Shamia Morton. While we've only seen a glimpse of the confrontation in the super tease for the season, Kandi revealed what really went down. Basically, they put in the super teaser about how me and Porsha are going to have an argument later on, and she's like, you and Todd tried to get us into a threesome, Kandi said. A few years ago, TMZ blasted her for preaching about gays and lesbians. Now, let's be clear. I would have never said anything about Porsha ever about anything had she not shaded the hell out of me saying I'm an undercover lesbian. I've even said on Housewives that I've had a girl experience before. There is nothing in the closet about me, honey. I'm very happily married, but I have had a girl on girl experience. I don't feel like it was a problem. She's kissed me in the club full out, and she wanted to do things to me. They're going to show it on the show, Kandi said. The point is, the girl changes her story so much, so when I confronted her on the show about it for saying things she said about me, she came back with this story about me and Todd trying to do a threesome, and that's how that came about. When you get to see the full show, she's saying it in response to me confronting her. Well, you're saying this about me, but you and I kissed before. Clearly, if I'm supposed to be in the closet, then you must be. Burris said Porsha is now only admitting they kissed because Kandi exposed their text messages on camera. First is I would never do anything with her until I had brought those text messages on her, honey, that showed her texting me a couple of days later talking about how great everything, how much fun she had, and how she would rape me on camera. Kandi explained, honey, make up your mind and you're just gonna own it, or are you gonna keep trying to drag me? Why? Don't drag me. I wasn't dragging you. Things between Kandi, Porsha, and Phaedra are at an all-time low right now and probably won't improve anytime soon. It's definitely unrepairable at this point. In the past, I felt like repairable, but every time I would try to reach out to try to get some type of positive growth, they would do something else, said Burris. It's just got to the point now where I'm like, no, it's not. It's so not repairable. It's so broken at this point. I feel like we need to just stop talking about each other, period. At this point, we're not going to be friends, so let's just stop. Some people are like, you've gone so low, you're so ratchet now. It's a little ratchet. I'm not going to deny it. It's a little ratchet, she told Too Fab. At least for me, it's real. They're going to give you one story 1 minute and another the next minute, and if you catch them off camera, it's another story. As two of her relationships have totally fallen apart, there's at least one surprising rebound. Nene Leakes, who has famously sparred with Kandi in the past, came to her former co-host defense early this week on Watch What Happens Live. Fans were surprised to see the two may have actually buried the hatchet, and Burris said they're all good now. Oh my gosh, I was like, thank you, Nene. My first year ever coming into Housewives season 2, Nene and I got off on the wrong foot. We had a battle of words ever since then. For whatever reason, it was always shade between us, explained Kandi. There was never any real reason for us to dislike each other. It was just shade going back and forth. We never had conversations about the girls, so I did not know how she felt about what was going on until I saw her on Andy, and I was like, thank you, girl. Thank you for seeing the light. So, and if you're wondering about the tape that she mentioned with Porsha, video surfaced from when Porsha was in church, when she was, heavily in her I'm a Christian phase, when she was married to Cordell, and she was saw preaching in church about gays and lesbians and saying how it was a sin and, God didn't like it, and, gay people were basically bad. So it says a lot about your girl. So the next bit of tea I have is on Kenya Moore and Matt. So a woman just exposed Matt Honey with some text messages and a video on this nut case. But so apparently Matt and the girl got into it, and Matt called the police on the girl. This is the girl peeking out of her blinds while Matt is outside talking to the police.
Here's Matt Jordan out here talking to the cops. He shows up to my house with the cops, snitching like a ratatouille ass snitch does. You feel me? Like, why are you so mad? Are you mad, Matt Jordan? Are you mad because I threw all your stuff over the balcony? Like, you don't live here. Your stuff doesn't belong here anyway. You were storing your stuff at my home.
So, like I said, Kenya has her faults, but that nigga has his own bag of crazy that he has to deal with, honey. Start this episode with Kenya. She meets Faye at a camp store. I'm like, these two are really getting along. I'm loving this. So Phaedra wants to make sure that Kenya will be on her P's and Q's for this glamping trip because she really wants Porsha to come. So we see Porsha going to anger management. And I'm like, girl, you only going back to anger management because you got called out on the girls. The man even states the last time you were here I gave you homework, which states that bitch ain't been back to that goddamn anger management office since the first episode of this season. We on episode 12. Girl, bye. She ain't serious about trying to change her attitude, but all right, girl, let's play along. Porsha tells the doctor that Phaedra didn't stand up for her during the whole confrontation at the table. Phaedra tells Kenya she feels like Porsha is being attacked. Kenya, of course, does not agree. Porsha tells the doctor, so I asked the girls, are you afraid of me? And this little girl who's 4'2" went off on me. And I'm like, okay, so now Candy's a little girl. Like, you talk all this big shit when she ain't around, but when she was in your face, you ain't have no words for her. You got your ass up in that leather skirt and you walked the fuck off. Porsha thinks that the girls are angrier than she is. I'm like, all right, girl, deflect. Porsha feels like she needs to bring someone with her on the glamping trip or else she won't go. She doesn't know if Phaedra is still team Porsha or not. Phaedra tells Kenya that she has not talked to Porsha since the whole incident. And I'm like, girl, y'all was never friends to begin with. This whole thing between Porsha and Phaedra, they have made a pact to team up with each other, to have each other's back on the show, so when other girls come for them, they'll have backup. And like, I wouldn't be surprised if them two were the ones fucking. Because them hoes always talking about each other's asses and squeezing each other's asses and shit. I would not be fucking surprised. So Cynthia meets up with Matt. And I'm like, what? Why are you meeting up with Matt? Why, girl? She said she hadn't talked to Kenya for like a week. So she decided to just stop by more Matt to see what the fuck was going on. And that's when she saw all the damage Matt had caused. So she said she asked Kenya if she wants her to talk to Matt on her behalf, just so she can get some type of clarity to see what the fuck is going on. I'm like, see, Cynthia, this is where you fucked up, girl. Never get involved in your friend's relationship. Don't do it, Bernie. It only causes more drama. And let me tell you something, girls, especially for you little young girls out here, you give your friend advice or whatever, or you try to help out with the relationship, and then as soon as that nigga say he don't like you, then that bitch mad at you and she don't like you and you need to mind your business. Girl, just stay out of it. She goes talk to Matt. she asked him, you know, what is it about her that has you so upset, meaning Kenya? He says there's a lack of respect and communication. He admits that he was wrong for breaking her things. And Cynthia says that Kenya is a bit of a drama queen and she has her own issues that she needs to deal with. And he says, you know, he wants to marry Kenya and is still in love with her. Cynthia says, you know, I feel like you all can work things out, you know, because I don't feel like your issues are that deep that they can't be repaired. Child, the fuck, please. Them two niggas is crazy as fuck and don't need to be nowhere near around each other. Kandi in her white freakum dress, honey, giving us body, goes to Shamia's surprise all-white engagement party that she's throwing. Now, I was surprised by this because I'm like, y'all just became good Judies. Why isn't Porsha, who is her best friend, throwing her an engagement party? What in the fuck is going on here? Now, this could cause you to think that maybe they are fucking on the low. Whatever. It's still, whether they fucking or not, or they just became good friends, I still find it odd that Porsha didn't step up to the plate to do something like that for her best friend. That shows the crack in her and Shamia's relationship. Sheree says that she talked to Porsha and Porsha said that she was thinking about not coming, and Kandi is like, why? Just because we had an argument? This is her best friend. She ain't gonna come and support her best friend. I'm like, exactly. All of it. That showed you a lot about Porsha, because she'll show up anywhere Kenya is at, because she's not afraid of Kenya. She knows she can whoop Kenya's ass. But with Kandi, she's afraid of Kandi, because she know Kandi will fight back and whoop her ass 9 times out of 10. So Shamia shows up and she's super surprised and overwhelmed, and Kandi goes over to hug her, and Sheree sitting back side-eye the whole thing like, I know you two was licking on each other's pussies at night, carpet munching, scissoring, what the fuck is going on here? Shamia asked, you know, where Porsha at? And they was like, she ain't come. And she was like, did she know? And everybody was like, yeah, she knew. And so she immediately starts to cry. And I feel bad for her, because that's fucked up if your best friend don't even come to your fucking engagement party. Like, really, bitch? Okay. Kandi tells Shamia about Phaedra telling Kenya about Porsha's anger management. Shamia's like, why is Phaedra telling Porsha's business, especially to Kenya? I'm here with you, Shamia. Here with you. So Sheree says, well, girl, since we on the subject, I ain't the one that gossips, so you ain't heard this from me. Phaedra said, you know, Shamia fucked everybody's husband in Atlanta. And Shamia like, excuse you, girl? If I was the one that's fucked everybody's husband in Atlanta, then I would have fucked Apollo, because he sure made plenty of passes. And I was like, give us the tea, bitch. I'm ready to sip. Shamia also goes on to say, you know, like, I've known about Phaedra. I don't, you know her like that, but we've come up together. And the word around the town about Miss Park is that she likes to... That's what she likes to do. And everybody like, ooh, child, I ain't got nothing to do with this. I don't want to have nothing to do with this. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. We asked, well, you know, what did Porsha say? Did she stick up for me? And Sheree was like, no, she ain't say nothing. And Shamia remembers how when her, Sheree, and Porsha were together, and Shamia made that comment about Phaedra, Porsha immediately stuck up for Phaedra. And so she like, okay, so she can have Phaedra's back, but she can't have mine? What kind of shit is that? So that lets her know right then and there where Porsha stands and who her allegiance is with. And I feel like this. From how they're making it seem, Shamia and Porsha have had a long friendship, like years, like over 10 years plus. Her and Phaedra just became BFFs apparently in the last 2 years. No way in hell is any bitch about to come talking the shit about Losha or Monique in front of me and think that it's gonna be okay just because me and her are cool. No ma'am, no sir, no God. My allegiance is always gonna be a trump card with friends that I've been friends with for 20 some years. I'm sorry. Me and you cool, girl. We good friends. I like you, but you know you are never gonna be able to say shit about my friends in my face. And I feel like there's some fucked up shit that Porsha is on, because Shamia has had her back, and they have even shown where Shamia has had Porsha's back. He goes over to Cynthia's lake house and she's very impressed. Cynthia tells her about the meeting with Matt. She tells her what Matt said, and Kenya immediately gets upset. She's like, I'm dating a child. How can he blame me for the things that he does? You know, this is adolescent behavior. He's such a fucking child. Well, if he's such a fucking child, then why the fuck are you dating him? That says a lot about you, girl. You just as childish too. You a childish ass goddamn motherfucker too. So you two childish motherfuckers need to be together. He asked Cynthia, well, what did you say? And Cynthia was like, well, I said, you can be a little bit of dramatic, because you are Kenya Moore. Oh, baby, she should have told her that. Kenya gets mad. What does that mean? You're supposed to have my back. Why would you say that about me? Why, Cynthia? Why? Kenya's like, why did you tell him that he sounds crazy? And she was like, I did have your back. I did stick up for you. No, you didn't, Cynthia. No, the fuck you didn't. And so this takes her back to when Cynthia said that they weren't friends, and now she don't know if she could trust Cynthia or not, and she gets mad and upset, and she walks off, and Cynthia's steady trying to talk to her, but she doesn't want to hear it. So her and Twirl and Burl and Baton get in the car and they speed off. Kenya is tired of being labeled the bad girl. Well, I'm like, girl, if you're tired of being labeled the bad girl, stop being the bad girl. This is the persona that you brought onto this show. Now it's stuck on you. Deal with it. Porsha goes over to Shamia's house. She said that, I did send her a gift. She sent her some crystal glasses or whatever, just to say she saw her because she felt bad for not going to her engagement party. Shamia asked, why didn't you come? Porsha says, I felt like Kandi is being too disrespectful, and, she got her little Kandi, a coded click or whatever. Shamia's like, you making this all about her when it was about me. If Phaedra threw something and I was invited, I would have went, even though I don't like her, on the strength of you because you're my friend. And I was like, that's some real shit, Shamia. Shamia says, are you putting other people over me? And, Portia's like, I understand how you feel, but that's not the case at all. Well, girl, if that ain't the case, you sure need to switch up some things. Shamia then brings up what Sheree told her about Phaedra saying that Shamia fucked married men all over Atlanta. Porsha then sits up there, honey, and lies and says, I don't remember her saying it. I don't remember her hearing her say that. Girl, you was a big black ass lie. You was sitting right there and you did like this. See, this is some fake ass shit. That's some fake bullshit. You know exactly what that girl said. You did not stick up for her. And I'm like, why are you lying when you know this shit is going to get shown on television? You know it's going to come out in the watch, so why fucking lie now? Porsha is fake as fuck, cuz. Like, she fake as fuck. Fake as fuck. She then goes on to say, y'all both slinging mud at each other and you started it. What, girl? Shamia then brings up Kandi telling her the stuff Phaedra said about Porsha, calling Porsha dumb and this and that. And Porsha's like, well, I don't know nothing about that. Of course you don't. Girl, bye. It's the day of them getting ready to go glamping. Sheree house still ain't the fuck done, but she's steady trying to shade Kenya house. I'm like, well, bitch, at least Kenya lights on. At least Kenya got AC up in there, motherfucker. You up here setting out a card table on your motherfucking front porch with motherfucking plastic sandwiches and shit that you got from Shop to Save for Durburgs and some bullshit. You ain't even got no iron in your house, bitch. When you steady trying to talk about somebody, you been working on that motherfucking house for like 9 years. This bitch got her house done in less than a year. She in her shit fully furnished. Why you say trying to diss? Bitch, shut the fuck up. Oh my God, you sound ridiculous. So we come to find out that she invited Marlo to go glamping. I'm like, why in the fuck is this bitch steady trying to start shit? I just want somebody to slap the shit out of Sheree. Please. We switched to Kenya. She over her house. She putting out a little nice spread at her house for everybody. So I guess they got different girls going to different hoes' house getting ready for this motherfucking glamping trip. Showing you team Kenya, team motherfucking Sheree. So Cynthia comes over to Kenya's house and she asks if they're still good. Kenya just wants to know if Cynthia has her back. And Cynthia says, of course I do. They make up. Nobody knows Marlo is coming. Marlo and Sheree go sit in the car because, of course, this bitch ain't got no central air up in that motherfucker. So Faye goes to Kenya's house to get ready for the glamping trip. And I was surprised by this. I was like, okay, somebody's about to be mad. So Porsha arrives at Sheree's house with Lauren in tow. Porsha pulls Sheree to the side like, girl, what the fuck was that shit about the other day? Sheree says, I had to tell her because I told Phaedra what Shamia said about her. It's only right. And Porsha was like, well, was anyone else there when you said this? And she was like, yeah, Kandi. Porsha was like, fuck. So Sheree was like, I'm the voice of truth in this group. Y'all need to stop talking about each other's back. Bitch, no. You ain't the motherfucking voice of reason. You the shit starter of the group. So Porsha said, Sheree got me caught in the middle of my two best friends. Tori does have her parts and the shit that's going on with you and Shamia and Phaedra. But at the end of the day, ma'am, you chose sides, and you chose Phaedra's sides over your longtime best friend Shamia. You're fake as fuck when it comes to Shamia, and you basically have thrown her to the motherfucking wolves and decided to ride with Faye. You did that, and you lied to that girl Faye, said that you didn't know what the fuck Phaedra said about her, knowing damn well you did. So you're the cause of this, ma'am. Stop trying to deflect like you always do, Miss Porsha. So Kandi comes to Kenya's house. She invited her protege, Hazel, on the trip. I'm like, everybody that's inviting extra hoes. And Phaedra like, I ain't tell everybody to invite all these extra bitches. And I would have been mad too if you just invite extra bitches without asking me. So they all get on the bus, and Kenya is not happy at all to see Marlo, because you know them, they on the outs now. Phaedra on the itinerary for the weekend. Marlo says, you know, we're gonna have a cute little Ask Marlo session, you know, about fashion, relationships, this and that. And the Hazel girl say, why are we asking her? Like, who the fuck is this bitch? And I was like, okay, Hazel. I see now they replaced Lena, RL's wife, with Hazel, because Lena apparently wasn't bringing it. That's why we have not seen her. But this Hazel girl is bringing it already. And I'm like, yes, bitch. So Marlo was like, I mean, y'all asking me because this is what I do. I know about fashion. If I knew about clear skin, I would be asking you about your skin. And I was like, okay, this is about to be a rumble in the jungle, bitch. So Cynthia asks why Porsha brought Lauren on the trip. Porsha says, I have a doctor's note for her to come for my sanity. So she passes the doctor's note around. So Hazel says, are you under emotional distress or something? And Kenya said, girl, this is some bullshit. It's some bullshit. Girl, don't believe that. And so Porsha says, I'm very open about my anger management. And Kandi and Porsha both say, no, you ain't. No, you weren't. Because when we asked you about it, you got very angry. And she says, I felt like I was being provoked and made fun of. No, you weren't. They were not provoking you, and they were not making fun of you. Stop it with the childish antics, Porsha. Marlo says, who did you feel like you were being provoked by? And Porsha says, mainly Kenya. And Kenya like, here it go. Everybody want to blame everything on me. And I was like, see, in this case, Kenya did have a part in this, but Kandi did too. Just don't single Kenya out, because that's the safe bet, because you're afraid of Kandi. So Kandi says, we've all been in uncomfortable situations, but from the jump you were mad. Well, she was. Porsha and Kenya start arguing, and then the episode goes off on some to be continued type shit. And I was like, well, that was a good little cute little episode. I get tonight's episode of B+. It was very, very cute. I want to just say thank you to everyone that left me all the beautiful, loving, encouraging messages under last week's Love and Hip Hop New York review. I know I had a bit of a breakdown. I let people get to me, and, you know, just me talking about not being able to have any more children really got me very emotional. I read all of your messages, all of your prayers, and I just thank you. And to all the other women that got below the comments and share their own experiences, my heart goes out to you. I thank you for sharing your testimonies and your stories, because it honestly helped me. And this is the point of the Color Me Pink channel, for women to support women, help other women, encourage other women, share our testimonies, share our stories, because sometimes we could be in this world and feel like we're alone and that we're the only ones going through things, when everybody's out here struggling. Everybody has their emotional demons, everybody has baggage, everybody has things that make them sad, happy, whatever. So I just thank you all. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. I wish I could give you all a huge hug and a kiss. So I'm giving you a cyber hug and a kiss now. I love you so much. Once again, for the Color Me Pink book club, the book club pick for February is Angie Martinez, a memoir. Side note, I went and ordered my copy over the weekend at Amazon.com. The book is only available in hardback and on Kindle. Paperback won't be available till next month. Hardback was like $16 and some change. Not that expensive, or you can get it on Kindle for a little bit cheaper. Once again, if you have a dirty little secret that you want to share with me and Monique, please email us here at dirtylittlesecrets@gmail.com. We want to know any of your dirtiest little secrets that you never told anyone. We already have some in, some great ones in. So thank you to the people that have sent us your dirtiest little secret. Thank you all so much for watching this review. I will see you all tomorrow for my Love and Hip Hop New York review. Love you. Bye.